The Joe Rogan Experience.
We just never stop coming at you. Excellent striking technique. Could take a tremendous shot.
My whole thing with it, though, is as soon as you test positive once, I take you out of the greatest, period.
Right.
It's just against the rules. I'm not even against steroids. Like, take steroids. You know, like, if it's your endocrinologist tells you to take steroids, go fucking do it. Good for you. But in our sport, unfortunately, it's against the rules, so there's only a certain amount of people doing it. So if you're doing it, you're cheating.
Right. But do you think John was taking steroids?
I don't know.
I don't think he was.
But to be honest, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, you know, I've said this for a long time. I think it should be a lifetime ban, first offense.
Really?
Period. Yeah. And there's going to be martyrs. There would be guys like, I don't think Tim Means was taking steroids. Like,
he wasn't.
He certainly did not look like it.
They proved it. They proved that he wasn't.
Oh, really? I didn't know it went that far. Okay, so
they found the supplement that he was taking that was a totally legal supplement.
Okay.
You get a bunch of shit from these small companies, or these companies rather, that get it from China, and they have these bins, and like we had a problem with that with the Alpha Brain when we first started. Not steroids, but vitamins that were in Alpha Brain that weren't supposed to be there. We have all our stuff independently tested, and when we had it independently tested, it turned out that the mixers, that when they were putting all the different ingredients in, they would be putting in these vats, and they had used these vats for other shit and hadn't completely cleaned it out. And this is a problem with companies that sell steroids and also sell things like creatine. Like, this is the big story about John Jones. This is the big rumor. This is what they think, is that he was doing coke that had creatine in it.
Yeah, I heard
it was
this.
cut with creatine, and that creatine probably had trace elements of steroids. The reason why that makes sense is because he tested negative right before that test, and then tested positive, and then tested negative again a short time after that. This is a steroid that takes several months to get out of your system, but it got out of his system very quickly, which would indicate it was a very, very small trace amount. Not an amount that you would take if you were actually using it to try to, you know, to get a performance-enhancing benefit. That's what I believe it. It makes sense to me. And so it makes sense to Nowitzki, too.
It's fair enough. And I'm certainly there's cases. So in my world where, okay, first offense, lifetime ban, I think a lot of guys would be a lot more careful with things like that, for one. And I think, you know, there would be a due process. So, you know, say he proved that, or like Tim Means, you know, proved it, you know, he comes right back, right? And I also think, unfortunately, there would be people that would probably have no bad intention and would have the, you know, end up testing positive and having a lifetime ban. And there would be martyrs, basically. And
I can't sign off on martyrs, man. Too many dudes have dreams, you know.
For sure.
What about you? Like, what if you accidentally took some creatine and had some bullshit in it?
Personally, I'm extremely diligent. I do my, you know, I do my due diligence, man. Like, I work with Muscle Farm for years now, and like I know that.
And they have great stuff.
Yeah, they have great stuff. I know that it's good stuff, and that's my primary supplement source. I mean, I don't go do coke. You know what I mean? Like, if you do those things and something bad happens to you, that's your fault. You know what I mean? If for instance, he was doing coke, and you know, not a knock on John Jones either. I mean, I'm not living his life. I mean, he's in a difficult situation as a young kid. You know, with God, I mean, I can only imagine the amount of people approaching him for crazy things and trying to talk him into all these things. So I have some sympathy for his situation, but you know, you make the choice, you have to pay the consequences for the choice.
I agree that you should pay the consequences for the choice. I just don't agree that the price should be so high. You know, like when you think about a guy like Anderson Silva, just tested positive again. Do you think that takes him out of the consideration for the greatest of all time?
In my mind, 100%.
See, I feel like he's doing it because he's old. I feel like he's doing it because he's 40.
So we can feel whatever we want to feel, right? I mean, I feel like he probably wasn't doing it the whole time.
But he might have been.
Yeah, but do I know?
Yeah.
Hell no, I don't know.
Did you ever see his trainer?
Oh, yeah. He trained Eric Silva when I fought him. And
his trainer looks ridiculous. He's set like 70 years old. He's just fucking jacked. It just looks like the Hulk.
He's got like 5% body fat at 60 years old.
He's so big. Like I sent a picture of the guy to Dana, and I go, "This is Anderson's trainer, LOL." and Dana sends me back, "Holy shit, are you serious?" I go, "Yeah, that's his trainer."
Oh, man.
Fucking guy's so jacked.
Dana's certainly seen him around the UFC. Yeah. He's trained lots of guys.
That's a different guy, man.
Unless he's younger.
No, it's he's
right there.
The guy above it with the white shirt. That guy.
No.
Yeah, that guy right there.
Okay, yeah. But
that's him.
Look, the picture to the left is even
to the
more.
left is the one. Yeah, that's the picture I sent Dana. He's so jacked. I mean, his fucking abs stick out like biceps. Each one of his abs looks like a bodybuilder's bicep just glued to his stomach. Guy's so jacked.
Oh, that's great.
Listen, folks.
There's like.
You can get big at 60. You could be pretty built at 60. You can't be that built. It's not possible.
There's like 0.01% of the population that can do that, maybe.
Yeah, and they all live in Africa.
Yeah.
They all have like super genes.
Yeah.
They're all like Francis Ngannou's relatives. There's so few people that are built like that naturally.
Oh, that's good, man.
Not at that age. At that age, your body starts to diminish. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Do you know that he's that old for sure?
Yeah, that guy's old. Yeah, he's in his 60s. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah,
I think he's an ex-gym, right? Is that his? I think he trained Jocker. I know he trained Eric Silva, who was at ex-gym. He was in his corner, and I was like, I'm glad I'm fighting a little guy, not him.
Yeah, Eric Silva changed, boy. You want to talk about a post-USADA guy?
Yeah,
like he's one of him and Vitor, but Vitor obviously was a testosterone replacement therapy. But
him and I think Johnny Hendricks was probably the most obvious, right?
Performance-wise, for sure. You got to wonder about Hendricks, like how much of it was burnout, how much of it was possibly he was taking something. You got to say it possibly because he never tested positive for anything. But,
absolutely, yeah.
But dude, he was launching people across the octagon.
I was the last fight before USADA when I fought him. I felt his strength. I seen his body. I mean, I felt it firsthand. This is a completely different world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially completely different compared to now. He doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
He doesn't fight the same. It's
certainly part of that has to be motivation too. I mean, there's no way he's under the same mental aspiration that he had before. He just looks at it differently.
Could be also because his hormones are all fucked up.
Absolutely,
this is big speculation. If he was on something and then he's off, his hormones crash.
Yep.
There's no way they can't. That's just how it works.
And that affects your mind, right?
100%.
I mean, I've never taken it, but I mean, I see people that go on and off of it, and they're like depressed. And
look at Vitor. Remember when Vitor came back? I mean, there's so many pictures of Vitor when he fought like Michael Bisping, and then you see Vitor after USADA, and he's got that old man bod, and he goes in there, and his body's kind of like loose, and it just your body's not producing hormones anymore. Vitor was on that shit when he was 19, man.
Oh, was he? Well, yeah, I guess, yeah. I don't know why
Remember when he fought Randy and he was 240 pounds and his neck started up here? His neck started about 2 inches above his ears and just went down straight to his shoulders.
He's so fast. It's like
ridiculously fast. Yeah, especially when he fought Tank. Well, when he was about 205, he was ridiculously fast.
Yeah, because I wonder if there's any, I was going to say, like, if you slow down when you stop taking that stuff, like if your muscles actually, your fast twitch muscles go away or something like that.
Your whole body crashes.
Right.
When you're that jacked up on steroids, your whole body, first of all, your balls are just like on vacation.
I mean, I know you get stronger, but what about, speed though? That's a different thing. A lot of speed is from a neurological, right? It's a lot of, the nervous system. So I wonder, about the effects on it. Did you see the study Andy Galpin just came out with?
Which one?
He just posted it the other day about epigenetic memory of muscles.
Yes.
So this is, I think, a big problem with the steroids because I do steroids when I'm 19. Now my muscles get jacked, and now my muscles remember how to get that jacked again. Even though I'm off steroids for 10 years, and then I come back at 30 and redo it.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point, and a very real point. Yeah, your body has muscle memory, and especially if you do it when you're young, and then your body has an adequate amount of time to rebuild, and you start developing a natural hormone level. That also increases your tendon strength. It increases ligament strength. I mean, your body changes. It changes the density of your muscles. of your bones. It just does. There's a lot of and then there's another argument for women that have taken steroids. It's an even more intense argument because you're putting supernatural levels of testosterone in a woman's body. They develop all this new muscle tissue that never would have been there without it, and a certain amount of that sticks around. And you might not have ever been able to develop that kind of strength without it.
Yeah. That was the first thing I thought of when I seen that study.
Yeah,
and that was where I was like, there's always a lot more to it than meets the eye.